Good morning and welcome back. I'm Celeste and this is Celeste Creates. This is my FlossTube channel, mostly about cross stitching, but also about quilting and a lot of the other creative things I like to do and make and the interests that I have. And so welcome. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by to spend a little time with me today. And if you're returning, then welcome back to my sewing area. And I'm just so delighted that you're here again to watch. So welcome back and let's get started. I can't believe it's been 3 weeks since I posted my last video. My intention is to put one up every 2 weeks, and that's usually not a problem, but something just kept me from doing it multiple times over the last couple of weeks. I know there was at least one time where I was thinking, oh, I'll wait until I get all the supplies for this particular project I want to start, and then I'll film so I can show it to you. And then something would happen, either I wouldn't get all of it, or something would happen the next day and I wouldn't be able to film, or who knows. Anyway, at some point I thought, well, I'll just wait till Thursday, 3 weeks from my last video, and film then, and just film with what I have, right? So I am excited to get going today and show you what I've been working on. I have been busy and just enjoying every moment of it. Really loving fall stitching and fall sewing right now, even though it's not too fall feeling here. It's a really pretty morning at the moment outside. It looks lovely out my window. If you went outside, it wouldn't feel lovely probably to many of you. It is still quite warm and humid here in the Houston area, but that's just how it is. It takes a little while for the fronts to be strong enough to actually make it to Houston. We had one good one, about a week and a half ago. We had one really, really nice day, and you just soak it up when you get the chance. So fall is on its way here, and when it does come, I enjoy it so much. It's just such a refreshing time. Feels very hopeful in a way, and so we don't really get changing of the leaves here. Kind of go from green to not green, or green leaves to no leaves. So but it is what it is. It's home, and every little cool front that pushes through, I just get all excited and head outside early in the morning with my coffee. So we've been busy with school. We're actually going to take our first break next week, and so some of the kids might still have outside classes to work on, or an online class. But for the most part, we're taking a break next week, which I'm excited about. It's been a while since we've had a break, and I'm kind of ready for one. Not sure what we're going to do, but sometimes it's just nice to not have to wake up and start school first thing in the morning. So I know I'll hope to get some extra stitching and sewing in. I'm thinking I want to do this one morning. I think a friend of mine recently did something similar, but I would love to get up and make it down to Galveston's, which is only about 25-ish minutes away from my house. Make it down to Galveston and be on the beach when the sun comes up. So I'm thinking about that. That would be a lot of fun to get up and just head down there. Doesn't take long. Be ready with my chair, my Bible, and be there when the sun comes up. So I'm thinking about that. Today is a big day for my middle child, my second son. He's the third child, second son, and he gets his learner's permit today. So we have to head out to the DPS. We call it the DPS, the Department of Public Safety, the driver's license office today, to get his license. So thankfully, since COVID, they take appointments, which makes it so much better. So hoping and praying that all goes smoothly and I have all the right paperwork, and it's always a challenge. This is the third one to do a driver's license, and it's never been the same twice. always something that goes wrong. So he's looking forward to that. I can't believe I'll have a third driver. Just crazy. You'll also notice that I sound a little scratchy, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. But along with the fall, not quite so fall weather in this area comes ragweed, which is probably the thing I am most allergic to. And so this is my bad allergy season. So forgive me if I sound like a little frog croaking at some point, but so let's get started on some cross stitch. If you follow me on Instagram, my main account is Celeste Creates, just like the name here of my FlossTube channel. And I did show this on Instagram. This was a start, a finish, and an FFO all within a week and a half. It was a small project and just such a fun one to work on. And this is called Beggar's Night from Threadwork Primitives. And I just love, I'm not a huge Halloween person. I like it, sort of. I like the candy a lot. But if I'm going to stitch something for Halloween or sew something, I'm not into scary or spooky. Anyway, I'm not anti-Halloween. It's not my favorite holiday. So this one I love because it had a real fall feel to it, but yet it was also kind of has October down here and the 31 up here. And the crow. I just love crows. So I started this on October 1st, I think, and stitched it, finished it, and FFO'd it. So I used all the called for DMC, except I think I changed whatever the white was here. Instead of, maybe it was supposed to be ecru, and I changed it to 3865 or one of those. So anyway, just filled it with, I think I put a little walnut shells in here and stuffing, and backed it with that cute, it's the Lori Holt, a brownish gray Lori Holt print, and then closed it over with some green, and just have a little pillow sitting downstairs with my few little Halloween decorations. Once Halloween is over, I'll change that table out. You can kind of, if you go here on my channel, I did do a video in the last couple of weeks when I decorated for fall, and so it's kind of my fall home decor tour. And I do show towards the end the table in the front hall that currently has a few Halloween decorations on it. That's kind of all I have, and I'll change that out once Halloween hits and put turkeys and Thanksgiving there, and then kind of the rest of my house is mostly just fall pumpkins and things like that. So anyway, so this is Beggar's Night by Threadwork Primitives, and I just love how it turned out. So real fun stitch. So I actually kind of have a half finished FFO. I don't know how to say it. So I showed you this project, I believe on my last FlossTube video that I had actually finished stitching it, was Merry Christmas from Blackbird Designs. I stitched this on 36 count sanguine with all the called for floss colors, and I just love how it turned out, and really want to get this completely finished, but I kind of ran into a snag. I had found a frame for it at Michael's that I knew would work, and so I brought the frame home. I went ahead and mounted. I like to lace mine on either foam core or mat board. So I have a little piece of very thin batting under here, and then I wrap it and I lace it. I like how it stretches, and just kind of the way I like to do it most of the time. I don't like sticky board, so I guess I could learn how to do the pinning method. to wrap it and frame it, but right now I'm really happy with how the lacing works, and so I'll stick with that. So I bought the frame, brought it home. It was black. It wasn't a very expensive frame. I painted it a really pretty matte silver and got it all stretched and laced, and then I brought the frame upstairs and it was actually constructed crooked. So I was like, oh no, this is never gonna work. I could get it in there and try and pretend, but it was gonna bother me, so I just ditched the frame, and maybe I'll use it for something else, maybe not, because I think the whole not being straight would really bother me. So I'm not quite sure what my next plan's gonna be. I think at this point, I haven't been to the fabric stores. We have a couple of quilt shops nearby, and I haven't been to look for any other fabrics, so I'm kind of thinking I might just wrap another board. This is a Bonnie and Camille white on white polka dot. Either this fabric or something else if I can make it over, and just do another board behind it with a little bit of white showing, and maybe just stand it up on an easel this year, and if I find something else at some point that works, maybe I'll redo it or unlace it, but it may stay this way, I don't know. So that's my half finished object, and we'll see. If anybody has any suggestions, let me know. I'm not big into lots of bows and adornments. I like to keep it pretty simple. But if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Alright, now let's move on to things that I've been working on. This is I know a lot of y'all use that book of days. This was my purchase several months ago. Found this 5-year monthly calendar on Amazon, and so I use it to track what I've been working on. And if you look, you can see I've been a pretty, I have not been as much all over the place this month. I've been a pretty monogamous stitcher, which is kind of weird. So first, let's look at the things I've been working on that I had already started. First one, I'll show you a little update. I've been a bad parent, and I have not given this one much attention lately. So this is my Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. Just a quick show there. I think y'all have all seen how much I've gotten done. And so right now, I am working. Down here, I even still have my needle in it. But I think since I last showed it, I've made a good bit of progress adding different parts to this side over here. I know I finished that big red and pink flower. I finished the peacock and some little motifs up to the top. I'd still like to finish this year. I won't say yes or no that I will or won't. But I just haven't been giving it as much attention lately. I've really been enjoying stitching for this season, and so we'll see, maybe. If not, my next goal would be to finish it by March of next year, which would be a year from when I actually started it. So I started it in March of this year during pandemic, and then I don't think a year, that wouldn't be too bad if I could get it done by by the end of next March. I think that would be awesome. So I've worked a little bit on that, but I've really been, like I said, enjoying stitching all the fall things, and so I did start and finish the Beggar's Night that I showed you just a minute ago. And then another piece that I've spent a lot of time on, I actually started this back, I think in September. Let's see. Did I start it in September? I may have started it in August. Oh, I started this in August. I started Midnight Watch back on August 13th, actually. Maybe worked a little bit on it and then put it away for a while. So this is Midnight Watch from Blackbird Designs. I just love this. I know a lot of you have stitched it, and it is just such a fabulous piece. and I am really enjoying it. So I guess I started it in August and then put it away for a good while, and maybe worked on it once or twice and then didn't pick it up again until, let's see, the beginning of October. So maybe that first full week in October I started working on it again. And I've put a lot of time in on this one, especially after I finished the Beggar's Night. So I am stitching this on, and I am so sorry, I always forget to iron, but oh well. I'm stitching this on 36 count beeswax by R&R. I love the color. That's good, I think. And this is the progress I've made. Love the border. I really like, I know some people don't like borders. I don't really mind a repetitive border. This has been a really good project lately, especially on a Friday or Saturday night when we tend to watch a movie, or I'll watch Downton Abbey with my daughter. It's really been a great one to fill in the cat, or you can see I'm still working on filling in the moon. For a while there, my friend said it looked like the cat was in a snow globe on top of the house. So we're getting there where it doesn't look like that anymore. Love the little patchwork gingham pumpkin. This was actually really fun to stitch here. And so now you can see I finished the roof. And I've got to put the shutters on the house and then finish filling it in and do just a little bit over here. And then pretty much after that, this down here is going to be border and then the alphabet. So that is Midnight Watch. I don't know if I'll finish this before Halloween, but if not, that's okay. I'll pick it up next year and move on, or whenever I feel like it, really. So I am, like I said, stitching that on the beeswax. Oh, that's a mess. So my colors. So I am using a combination of colors here. See if I can make that pretty. I always kind of put them in order on my ring, and if I'm doing a combination, I'll put, you know, group the DMCs together in number order, and then put the, I'll put the over-dyed flosses in alphabetical order. So I'm using the Classic Colorworks Ginger Snap, that's for the moon. I tried to use, I don't know why on this one I didn't use all the overdyes, but I was, at the time I was picking it out, I thought, well, let me use the overdyes on the ones that have the most solid stitching space. So the moon was one of those, so that's the Ginger Snap. This is the Gentle Arts Ginger Snap, way different, two different colors. And that's used a lot. That's the shutters and the little flowers on the border. This is charcoal, Meek's charcoal, and that is the roof. And then this is a lot of the letters. And then I think there's one more. Yeah, the Classic Colorworks Blackbird is, of course, in the border. It's the cat. And then all the rest of them I'm using just the DMC because they don't appear quite as often or in large quantities, and so that's what I'm doing. And you'll see here these, I'm thinking about offering these for sale, but I'm not sure yet. I'm calling, these are my needle tags, and I love having my thread on a floss ring. Usually where I'm sitting, here's the reason I did this. Right, we've all got, you know, a project bag. This is my, a bag from Christy. She gifted it to me. And so in my project bag, I'm going to have my, I'm totally getting sidetracked here. In my project bag, I'll have my pattern and my stitch piece, right? And my thread on the floss ring, or my floss on the floss ring, all in my project bag. And usually where I'm sitting, I usually probably sit one of two places, either up here during school, or I sit in my stitching chair downstairs. So there's always a pair of scissors nearby, and so that's not a problem. I don't feel like I need to keep scissors in my project bag, but I always need a needle, and I just kind of want, I don't want it to be another thing in there. So I came up with the idea of making a needle tag for each of my floss rings. And it's just a cute fabric tag that hangs on the floss ring, and on that I can put a needle or two, and it's just always right there. And so that's the only other thing I have in my project bag. Keep it simple and uncluttered, and that way I don't have to have a pair of scissors or a separate little needle book in every bag. Oh, I'm getting some light there. So anyway, that's totally off the subject, but they're fun. All right, let's move on to some things I started and that I'm working on. So I have decided that I really like stitching in the season, or pretty close to the season, I guess you could say, because I know I'll do some Christmas stitching in November, right? But still, I don't think I like Christmas stitching in July. So I want to stitch other things anyway. I like stitching in the season. So this month of October has been really fun to work on Beggar's Night, Midnight Watch, and then I had 2 other starts this month, with which I'm just loving them all. Loving them all. I want to work on all of them all at the same time. So first one, this is a project bag I made. This is probably my favorite style of project bag, just to throw together really quick, is a top zip. It's the easiest one to make. Just takes 2 fabrics and a zipper, and anyway, when I need a new project bag, this is the kind I usually throw together. And I love this fabric. So cute. All right, so one of my starts, I started this on October 2nd. This is Autumn Leaves by the Prairie Schooler. I showed you this one as part of my haul, and not too long ago, and I love this, the verse on here and the scene, and so this is the one I'm doing. I started that with, I am doing this one on just, well, not just, but this is on 36 count Zweigart, just a raw natural linen, and I really like how it looks. Got all the top part of the verse done, and then I'm working down. I think there's a pumpkin here, and then here's a tree, and then there's some leaves, and then we'll get into the house and the rest of the verse down here. So I haven't worked on this one quite as much. I think I got so busy working on Midnight Watch that I kind of set this one aside. But Midnight Watch was a Halloween type feel, and I thought I can always pick this one back up in November, and it'll be a really fun one to stitch as we get close to Thanksgiving and maybe things start feeling a little more autumn and fall around here. We maybe have some autumn leaves or not. So that's that raw natural linen. I am still fighting that light, aren't I? Another one of my, this is a Christmas one. Anyway. And this I'm doing with all the called for DMCs. Such fun colors, such fun fall, beautiful. Love those deep reds in there. And putting that on the raw linen, really beautiful. So that was one start. All right, I kind of tried to adjust the camera a little bit because I can't get rid of some light coming through the blinds here, but I only got so far I can go before I end up in my shelf and my cutting table. Okay, so my next start for this month of October, I'm so excited to start, and I started it yesterday because I'd finally gotten all my supplies, you know, pulled together from different places and started it. Before I show you the whole, well, before I show you what I've done, let me show you the pattern. So I started yesterday Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Designs. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful design. I like red houses too, but boy, this blue house gets me. I love blue. Blue's one is my favorite color. That's how much, you can see how much blue fabric I have compared to the other colors, and I love blue. So I started this yesterday. So here's the funny story. About a week and a half ago, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, I was catching up on some FlossTube videos, And on Saturday, I was watching Carol Saltbox Stitcher, and she somehow was talking about this chart and said, and Christy from Crosshatch Quilt is stitching this, and I believe Celeste is stitching it too. And I laughed. I thought, oh, that's funny. I'm not stitching it. And I had actually been trying to not stitch it, and thinking, no, I don't need another start. So it was just kind of funny. It was like, oh, no, I'm not stitching it, but oh well. The very next day on Sunday, I was watching Brenda and Laura, Brenda and the Cereal Starter, and again, they brought this up because I think Laura had been working on it like nonstop. She'd been really enjoying it. And again, I'm sitting there and they said, and Christy from Crosshatch Quilts is stitching this, and I believe Celeste from Celeste Creates is stitching it too. I just laughed. I thought, oh, how funny. I'm not stitching it. It probably wasn't 30 minutes later that my friend Christy texted me and said, are you stitching it and you didn't tell me? I said, no. But what I did decide was that this was not a bother at all. I'm not upset they got me mistaken with whoever. I took it as a sign, a sign, an omen, whatever you want to call it. I prefer sign, that I was supposed to be stitching it. So Carol and Brenda and Laura, it was you were that sign that made it clear that I was supposed to be stitching Feast of Friendship, and I didn't even know it. So I ordered it. All of the stuff to go with it. Anyway, so funny. But now I'm really glad that they got me mixed up and I'm stitching it. So I am stitching this with all of the called for overdyed flosses. They were just too pretty to pass up, and I am just kind of in, let's add fancy floss, let's add the overdyes to my stash. The blues are just gorgeous. I just could not get those. Oh, lovely. Oh, there's another tag. Aren't they beautiful? So I'm doing all the called for overdye, which is mostly Gentle Arts. There's a couple of classic colorworks, and so I started this yesterday. I was pretty pleased with my progress. So I got the main part of the border all done, the bottom of the house over here, so I could just make sure I had it all in place, and then the little box and the words Feast of Friendship. So I'm pretty pleased with how far I got on that yesterday, and we'll definitely be working on this today. So thank you to those friends who did their part to make sure I was working on this like I should be. All right, let's talk about haul, and also in there I'll kind of talk about, I think, what some of my plans will be for the next few weeks and moving into the month of November. So I know for sure I really would like to, not sure I'll finish Midnight Watch, so we'll see. I won't say I won't, but just not sure yet. I would love by the end of November to finish Feast of Friendship and Autumn Leaves, and I think those are both small enough and simple enough that I could realistically get those done and have them at least finished by Thanksgiving or the end of November. All right, and so so one of the things I bought is not here yet, part of my haul. You probably all saw that Brenda Gervais from With Thy Needle and Thread released some patterns that are going to be shipping soon. And one of those was a pattern that I have been hoping and waiting for. When I first saw it, I was like, I have to have this. I gotta find it. Oh no, it's not out yet. It was a retreat piece, but it's Winter Rose Manor, and I'll insert a picture here. I just think that is beautiful, and I'm so excited that she's released it and that I can get my little hands on it and start stitching it. So I already had maybe half of the floss, and I ordered the other half, and I've ordered the pattern, and then I'll have to see what kind of linen I want to put it on, but that is definite start as soon as it comes. So other stash enhancement that I got, that I'll probably work on as well, is one of them I ordered this little Blackbird Designs pattern. Merry December, 3 stockings for December and Christmas. And I really love this one on the front. And then there's 2 others you can see included. So there's 3 little stockings in this chart that you can stitch. And I know I want to make this one either once or twice as a gift, so that's something I want to work on. Coming up here soon, probably not until November or so. I could even work on that one in December. Be fun to stitch in the season and be stitching that for a gift. Another one that I kind of want to work on is, sorry, forgot I was over here. I had bought this Prairie Schooler St. Nicholas, thinking I would make an ornament for each of my kids this year. So we'll see. That would be a gift for Christmas, so I've got some time. These are so small, and Prairie Schooler is really just such an easy stitch for me. They're 54 by 45, so I do think I could whip these out. So maybe in December, I don't know, we'll see. And then this I for sure want to start, and I'll wait till November or December, but I bought this pattern from Erica Michaels. It's the Nativity Berry. It's one of her strawberries. I just think that's beautiful. I love the blue, the picture of the nativity. So I bought that chart, and I also bought the linen to stitch it on. Let's see if you can see it. Does that look? Yeah, it's pretty good. To me, it looks much more not aqua, but very green blue in the picture. But this is the 32 count Nocturne from Picture This Plus. So yeah, it's pretty good. Maybe a little darker, but I went ahead and ordered that, and that's what I will stitch this strawberry on. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. And I'm not sure what threads I'll use, but that I would love to have done for to display for Christmas, and that won't take too long either. I'm not sure, maybe y'all can tell me if y'all done some of her strawberries, what is on the top here. I can't tell if that's a velveteen, or I guess I could look in the pattern, but I want something blue like that to put on top. So anyway, that's something I want to work on. I got a piece of linen. When I was buying, I bought a lot of, actually, I don't have it here to show you because it's in different places, but I bought a lot of overdyed floss this month, or these last couple of weeks, for different projects. And one order that I placed from Anita's Little Stitches, which is actually, it's an online shop, but it's actually local to me, so it's like 15 minutes away from my house. I could go pick it up if I wanted to. There is not a storefront, it's just online, but they have a $25 minimum, but they always seem to have all the floss I want. So I hate to tell you about my little place to get stuff, but anyway, Anita's Little Stitches, super fast shipping, and so I needed some extra to make up my $25. So I got this really pretty piece of linen. Lovely. This is just, it's Zweigart Edinburgh Cocoa, so 36 count, just cocoa. But it is beautiful. Look at the colors. I mean, that is gorgeous. I didn't know that existed. So I'm not sure what I'll put on it, but I thought that would be a beautiful piece to have on hand. So I got that. And I don't remember why I bought this, but I did. It's bought on Amazon. This is a Blackbird Designs quilt book. When the Cold Wind Blows. It says quilts and projects to keep you warm. it'll be a while before they can keep me warm because it's a lot of work. But the book is just gorgeous. And I didn't own a Blackbird quilting book, and the applique pieces are just lovely. So there's a pattern, all the blocks for making that quilt, kind of a fallish, or with the reds and blues. It's beautiful. So I love that. I don't know if I'll do all of that one. The one that I really love, well, actually there's two. Two. I will get there. First one I really love is this one. Look at that. It is called Goldenrod in Bloom, and I'm not a very dark Civil War fabric quilter. You can tell from my shelf, right? But some of it I really do love, and actually this yellow is just beautiful, and I would love to make this quilt in the spring or summer. That's just gorgeous. So that one really stood out to me. And then the other one I love, which I don't know I will do all of this one either, but it is beautiful. This is called Holly and Mistletoe, this whole quilt. Look at that, it's gorgeous. I love that. I love the urn with the holly and everything coming out of it, and then it's on top of all these little stars. So I thought, well, maybe I don't want to make the whole quilt, but I could make that part right there. So maybe do a portion of it. But that is just beautiful. The fabric on that urn is gorgeous. So anyway, so many beautiful things. This I got on Amazon, so take a look. Love it. This was published in some year, 2008. This was published in 2008. So, beautiful book. I know I'll enjoy having that. I got some happy mail from a friend. This is from my friend Kim. A couple of videos ago had shown the piece that I had been working on, the Primavera by Sarah Germani, and that I wasn't sure I wanted to finish it or what I was going to do with it, and I ended up gifting it and the pattern to my friend Kim. And it's kind of fun to see her on Instagram. She's put some stitches into it and is giving it some love, and that just makes me really, really happy. And she was so sweet. She likes to quilt as well as stitch, and she sent me this pattern, which I did not have, a spool sampler from Cottonway. This is Bonnie from Bonnie and Camille and their fabrics. This is her pattern company. And I just love that. How fun is that? So I can't wait to work on that. It'll be a great one. Thank you so much, Kim. And I'm glad you're enjoying the stitched piece. My other quilting fabric purchase was aren't they cute? There's my light again. 2 honey buns from Moda. So honey buns are 1.5 inch pre-cut strips from a fabric line, and this is Fig Tree, Joanna Figueroa, Fig Tree and Company. This is her next line that's coming out called Figs and Shirtings, and I knew that I wanted to make a quilt, a log cabin quilt. I'd seen a picture on Instagram that I just fell in love with. And so I thought, instead of ordering a bunch of yardage at this point, I'm sure there's some back orders in my future here and there, but I'm going to go ahead and get the 2 honey buns and make log cabins. And I plan to use the paper piecing log cabin papers that I bought from It's So Emma. And they're just beautiful. I love those colors. The yellows, the oranges, greens, reds, blues, grays, blacks. Just beautiful. So I got 2 of those, and I'll be making a quilt with those at some point. All right. Last but not least on this episode of my FlossTube is going to be a little bit of quilting. If you, again, follow me on Instagram, then you've seen some of the things I've worked on. Please join me over there. It's half what I stitch and quilt and half kids and a crazy life and fun. So I'd love to have you follow me. But I did actually quilt a quilt for my mother-in-law. She pieced it. It was part of blocks from a quilt group that she belonged to, and the blocks have been done for years and years, and she this year decided to get those put together, which was no small feat because it was probably more complicated than she anticipated, but it turned out fabulous. It's an ice cream themed quilt. If you know us in our family, we're all about ice cream, especially Bluebell. And so it's an ice cream themed quilt, and I told her I would quilt it for her on my machine. I don't have a long arm. I just use my home machine, but it is a little bit fancier. Not fancy, but fast. It's fast. So I quilted that for her, and I'll insert a picture here. And so I love how that turned out, and she was super pleased. And then while I had my machine set up to be doing my free motion quilting, I also posted a picture of this. I went ahead and quilted my postage stamp quilt, my scrappy postage stamp. I love how it turned out. I just did a simple, loop and swirl on this one. But absolutely scrappy, totally fun. I even just used some fabric I had in my stash, a big enough piece. It's these vintage looking bunnies, 1930s, 40s type fabric on the back. And that is downstairs, and I'm just loving the bright colors and all the pretty. And then the other thing I quilted while I had that going, I bought a pattern from the pattern basket, and I made this ghost. Oh, I love it. So cute. Like I said, not huge on Halloween, but I just want to have a table full, a few little things. So I made this ghost, and I went ahead and quilted it with a spider web. You can probably see it better on the back. You can see that I love that bat fabric, and I quilted it with the spider web. Found it with some orange, and I just think she's so cute with her little bow. So I got that quilted, and that's hanging downstairs above my table in the hallway with my little Halloween decorations. So I got those finished. There's another piece I quilted that I'll show you in just a minute. And then what else I've been working on is a really fun little sew along from, I guess, the Fat Quarter Shop, and it's Sew Emma, but it's called Socialites, S-E-W, Socialites is the hashtag, QAL, Socialites Quilt Along. And it was not a quilt along I planned to do, but I really like making a block a week is really fun, very doable, and I like that at the end of it you have a whole quilt. So I started with week 1, and I think they come out every Friday, and you can download the pattern for free and make the block in 3 different sizes. I think you can make the 3, the 6, and the 9, and I'm doing all it's 9.5 unfinished. I'm doing all the 9-inch blocks, or I'm doing mine all as 9-inch blocks. There may be a couple that I don't do, and I don't think I'll arrange my finished quilt in the same way that they have planned and displayed, but I just love making the blocks. So this is the first one I made with this fun blue pattern and some yellow polka dots. Oh no, that was the second one. That's the second one I made. This was the first one with some Lori Holt fabrics. And I totally made it backwards. These are going the wrong way, but they're all going the wrong way, so I left it. So I made this one just with fabrics I like, and then I kind of started thinking, oh, it's going to be all scrappy. Oh, we're going to do, blue's my favorite color, so I'm just going to use all this up here and make a totally scrappy blue and white quilt. And then this was the third block, and this was a real booger. I think I said that even after almost 20 years of sewing and quilting, well, longer sewing, but after 20 years of quilting, that was still hard. Anyway, love that. Cute little vintage print. And then this week's block, I used some of my Flower Sugar by Lichuan, I think that's how you say it, to make this one. And so you can see a picture of all 4 of them together on my Instagram, but it's just going to be every blue that I love, pick it off the shelf, pick a background fabric, and off I go. So a lot of fun. Again, socialites is the hashtag, like the word socialite, but the sew is SCW. And so the other quilt I've been working on was one that Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts made me buy. Thanks, Olivia. This is my black and white copy of the pattern. I bought it online and downloaded it and printed. It's called Libby's Log Cabin. So you really can't see how pretty it is. But it does have star blocks in amongst these log cabins, and it's just so pretty. But mine's totally not going to look like the one in the picture color-wise. So what I did is I'm using my fabric from Lori Holt. I can't remember what it's called. I buy every Lori Holt fabric line that comes out. She's my favorite designer. Her style really just speaks to what I love. This is why can't I think of it? This isn't the flea market one. I'm looking on the selvages. This is a crazier video today. I'm so glad y'all are sticking around because I'm a nut. I'm looking for the fabric. What the heck? Okay. Prim, thank you. This is her Prim fabric line. And so I had bought the fat quarter bundle and I thought, oh, this will be really pretty to make a fall version of this log cabin quilt. So, long story short, I chose from the bundle for the stars were supposed to be red. And so here's the first star I made. So they're going to be the reds, and I think there's one dark pink with kind of these brownish black, not brownish black, brownish gray. So here I kind of have them all started. So some different prints and the reds. So those are going to be all the stars. That one. That one. And then I'll be using, got some of them cut out. I have a note that says I need 100 more out of these. That goes into it. And then the log cabins, the darker color that shows up on the pattern, that darker part of the log cabin, those are all going to be the aquas from the Prim. So that's going to be the one sides of the log cabin. And then the other half of the log cabin, the lighter side, are going to be these golds and orange colors. So between those will make up the log cabins. Perfect fall colors for me. And then let's see if I can hold all this together. So we've got all that. And those. I just think that's going to be a fabulous fall quilt. I don't know that I'll finish it this year, but it's a lot of fun to work on. And so that's what I've been up to in the quilty world. And if you stayed with me for this long, then you know I'm crazy. So the last thing I want to talk about before I let you go, or before you decide to go, is a giveaway. I have reached 2,000 followers or subscribers on my channel here, so thank you all so much for those of you who've subscribed, who come back to watch it. I appreciate it. It's just so much fun. It's I'm not here to get anything out of this. Y'all give me so much. Y'all, see, from Texas. Y'all give me so much as I get to watch your FlossTube videos and watch the things you're doing on Instagram and read your comments. You give me so much. This is not about what I get out of this. It's just fun. It's fun to have stitching friends to share all this with. And so I'm just so thankful for everyone who has already subscribed and who watches these videos. Thank you. It's a very blessed feeling. I feel surrounded by friends that already had friends, but just to have even more, it's really fun. So since I got to 2,000, I will be doing a giveaway this time. So here's my idea. I made a mini quilt, a little wall hanging for a friend of mine, Liz from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. She's my Texas stitchy friend, and I have a few, but Liz and I chat back and forth. And so I made her a mini quilt to go on her her wall, a special little quilt hanger that she had bought. And you can see that on one of her recent videos. And I'll insert a picture here of what I made for her. That Santa block came from Lori Holt's vintage Christmas book, which while I was making her that, she had bought the book. And so I was really laughing because I'm thinking, I made you a mini quilt and you just bought the book. So there's the Santa that I made her. And I've made various, I haven't made the whole quilt yet, but I've made a bunch of these already for different things. So if you are the winner of this giveaway, what I will do is I will make you your choice of a wall hanging mini quilt, any of these blocks you want, one of them. So, you know, whether it's a Santa or a nativity or a cute little train, the church, stocking, Coco. If you win the giveaway, then I will make and send to you a mini quilt wall hanging of one of these designs. So I think what I want to do, I am interested to hear. I grew up with a mom who had collections, and I'm a collector. So growing up, my mom's Christmas collection, she had a Santa collection that she put out at Christmas. She had a Christmas teddy bear collection that she put out. I think what else there was. Can't think, but she had, you know, she loved to collect things, and that kind of passed on to me. And so I know for Christmas I have a snowman collection that I love, and I have a little bit of a gingerbread collection, not much, but a little bit of a start. I think it would be bigger if I had a bigger place to put it. And then I have a glitter village, so I have a glitter house village that I've kind of been working on. So those are some collections that I have. So if you would like to be entered to win this giveaway, of course you need to be a subscriber, like the video, and leave me a comment that has the word collection in it. So that's the word I'll be looking for, is collection. And I want to hear from you what Christmas collection you have. So do you have a Santa collection, or do you have a snowman collection, or do you have 10 collections? I would love to hear. I love seeing pictures of the things that people collect and how they display them, and that's just so much fun. So if you want to be entered to win one mini quilt that I will make for you custom, please subscribe and use the word collection in your comment. Don't say giveaway or all that jazz, and tell me what your Christmas collection is. Do you have a collection of things that you display at Christmas, and what is it? So subscribe, the word collection, tell me what your Christmas collection is, and leave me a comment and follow all the rules, all that jazz. And if you win, then I will let you pick a block and I will make you a mini quilt. So thank you for all the subscribers and all the fun we have here. It's just a lot of fun, isn't it, guys? And so I guess that's all I have for you today, and I'm just so thankful that you come by to spend some time with me, and I love spending time with you. I wish I could have you all here in my sewing room. I wish we could sit and stitch and chat and have a big show and tell all in person. And so I just hope you have a really blessed couple of weeks, that as the seasons turn, and amidst all the crazy that's going on in our world right now, I just pray that you'll find peace and hope and joy. And I pray for you that God will bless you and let his face shine upon you and be gracious to you and give you peace. And so with that, I will see you in a couple of weeks, hopefully only 2 this time. Take care and have a blessed day. Bye.